Misty tilted her head in slight bemusement as she watched her boyfriend look through his Pokédex, muttering to himself. Ash, aren't you gonna head to the gym? She asked, pointing to the massive boulder-like structure that was the Pewter City gym. I mean, it's right there. Yeah, but finding out that Sky can do Hyper Beam now has me thinking. Ash replied, holding his Pokédex up to show her the screen had a list of moves. You know Squirtle's Skull Bash, right? Yeah, did you know Pikachu, Goldeen, Horsey, and the full Charmander evolutionary line can learn it as well? I didn't. I can learn that. Pikachu jumped onto Misty's shoulder to read it too. That might be fun. Probably kinda painful, but fun. Hell, you and Scorch can both learn Hidden Power, for crying out loud. All of you can. His voice was saturated in exasperation. I don't think I've ever seen anyone even bother with this. Well, I guess a lot of trainers just go with attacks that match the Pokémon's type, like Vine Whip and Solar Beam for grass types, or Hex and Nightshade for ghosts. Oh, in that case, did you know Staryu can learn Thunder and Flash Cannon? Say what? She grabbed the Pokédex when he showed her. No one ever told me it. Hi Pika, oh, Misty, apparently Staryu's a guy. Really? She blinked, cut off from her potential rant. Huh, didn't know that either. Ash retrieved his Pokédex and put it away. Anyway, my point is, as a trainer, it's my duty to help my Pokémon reach their fullest potential, right? More or less, Misty replied absent-mindedly, still going over what she'd just heard. So, what's to stop me from ensuring that happens? There's no rule saying there's a move limit, is there? No, not really. Near as I know, it's just assumed they can only learn a set number at once. She looked at him. You're going to abuse that bit of info, aren't you? Oh, maliciously. The evil smile he gave her was both unnerving and slightly panty-moistening. Bitchin', Butterfree yelled, having been content just listening to them. Besides, you had me at learning Hidden Power. When do we start? Right after we get this badge. Ash motioned for them to head out. Let's get going. No you aren't, a gruff voice spoke up nearby. Excuse me, Ash asked, noting that this felt familiar when they looked at the grizzled man staring, or rather, glaring, at them. You're not gonna do what you're planning 'cause you're not gonna get a boulder badge. The fact you're here for your first badge just proves how much of a rookie you are. So just head back to wherever you're from. The man pointed towards the road leading out of town. Yeah, let me think about it. No. With that, Ash stepped around him, but not before giving him a dirty look. Though I will be having a word with the gym leader about this. Misty, isn't it considered illegal to try and prevent trainers from going to a Pokémon gym when it's open? Unless the gym is closed for emergencies or the gym leader is unavailable, then it's illegal and a finable offense. Misty replied, moving to match Ash's pace. The man just stared in disbelief at the group as they walked past him to the gym, quickly shifting to slight panic when Ash looked back at him. I think your son's gonna want a word with you afterwards, anyway. Flint. Wah, he nearly shrieked, quickly looking for an escape. How'd you? At least, he did until he felt a tap on his shoulder and found a shiny Meowth floating beside him. And just in case you're attempting to get out of that, he smirked as Flint mumbled something incoherent before a mild burst of psychic sent him to dreamland. For some reason, I'm thoroughly tempted to draw a penis on his face. Huh, so this is where you met Brock, huh? Scorch asked when they entered the gym. He gave the sparse, rocky arena look around. Function over form must be their family motto. Another challenger already, huh? Brock spoke up, stepping into the room from a side entrance. He stopped when they all got a look at each other. Never seen a trainer who'd let their Pokémon walk around like that. Pausing, he spent the next several seconds looking like he wanted to say something but couldn't phrase it properly. Have we met before? You might say that, NewOWTH replied, undoing the memory block for him. Brock's face twitched briefly and he shook his head. Ash, Misty, Pikachu. Long time no see, Brock. Misty giggled at the expression he currently had. I have several questions, but first, I'll be right back. With that, he ran out of the gym like a man on a mission. The others waited briefly before they all heard a shriek and the sounds of violent slapping combined with yells and yelps. Of all the irresponsible. I can explain. Ow. Come on, Brock. Oh, WCH. That stings. You have a lot to answer for. I know. Gah, will you please stop slapping me? My ear. By the time Brock returned, dragging one Flint Harrison in by his ear, Pikachu and Ash were cackling like fools. The rest joined in when they saw Flint's face had been doodled on, a penis went across his forehead and curled around his left eye, Vodka was written on his cheek, and various scribbles dotted the rest of his mug. Even New Oat's tail was flicking around with laughter at his handiwork. And I don't know who put all that on your face, but you deserve it. After the second and third oldest of Brock's siblings, Salvador and Yolanda, if Ash remembered right, dragged their wayward pop off to continue telling him off, Brock turned his attention back to his old friends. So, how's life treating you two this time? Ash shrugged. The usual, woke up and got Pikachu, met up with Misty again. Slept together. Misty joined in, grinning when he put an arm around her. Say what? Brock stared at them. Seriously. They've been going at it like low punnies. Pikachu added. Say what? Brock held up a finger after a recap. Okay. Let me make sure I got this. Because of a misinterpreted wish, part of Ash was pulled from him. He sent Geodude onto the field. And said part became that antisocial red kid. Ash nodded, letting Pikachu head out. Basically. Right, and that resulted in Ash being a chronic 10-year-old. Yeah, we were all prevented from noticing. Arceus found out and decided that needed to be fixed, so he pulled you both into his realm and explained things with Ho-Oh and Palkia. In me, New OWTH cut in, idly twirling a Sharpie. In you, Brock assented, while Red was being a twit the whole time, trying and failing to catch himself a legendary. So Arceus decided to shut him up and just fuse you two back. Begin, Brock's eldest sibling, Forrest called out. Yep, and he said the two worlds meshing back together are gonna have some interesting changes. Pika, crackle, asterisk. Oh, Brock winced when he looked at a singed Pokémon now laying on the arena floor. Sorry, Geodude, I forgot Pikachu could do that. Geo, the rock type lifted up an arm just long enough to give his trainer the finger before descending into quiet snores. No need to get snarky, Brock muttered, calling him back. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, Ash. I can handle hearing about you being, well, two separate people before we even met. I can handle learning that Arceus actually decided you needed a do-over, and the fact that you have a legendary with you. The gym leader started shaking. However, the fact that you have a girlfriend before me. I'm 17, does not compute everything that we told you, and that's what has you bent out of shape. Butterfree asked incredulously. It's the principle of the matter. Does it help that I'm surprised that you understand Pokémon too? Ash offered. Not a word. Brock's tone refused to change, though I've learned to get the gist of what they mean. But that's beside the point. Brock, can we go on with the battle? You're starting to weird me out. Forrest spoke up. Oh, why yeah, Brock flushed, though Ash and Misty could tell he'd be getting back to the subject soon as they were done. Okay, let's try upping the ante some. Steelix. Yes, that makes sense. Pikachu contemplated the massive metal Pokémon that was looking down at him. Hey, Pikachu, long time no see. Steelix said, lowering down some. Or is that short time no see? I have no idea what the right terminology is. Pikachu just shrugged. Just go with it. I think the headaches'll stay away better. Pikachu, come on back. Ash called out. You may be able to hit ground types. Something tells me Brock's taught this old Pokémon some new tricks. He turned to the others. Scorch, feel up for a match. Hey, I'm not that old. Steelix replied, mildly offended. Sure, this ought to be fun. Never faced a big guy in a match before. Scorch walked out, a reluctant Pikachu letting him tag in. Crud, Steelix sweat dropped, looking at Brock. You want me to face him? You know I'm weak to fire. Steelix, just calm down. Brock tried to reassure his Pokémon. Yeah, Charizard's a little bigger now. Hey, little, he's almost as tall as me. The steel type moved over to show the height difference, not to mention we both know how strong he is. Also, it's Scorch now. The reptilian Pokémon grinned. What's new, Rocky? Steelix sighed, wondering if I should have stayed in my Pokeball. Though, guess I should be glad Ash isn't sending him out. He gave a pointed look at MUOWTH. I refuse to face a freaking legendary today. Hell no. Here, I'll tell you what, chill out so we can do this, and I'll show you how to do Dragon Tail. I can learn that. Steelix quickly changed gears, curiosity replacing his small freakout. Ash was checking moves in his Pokédex. Heck, we can both learn Brutal Swing. Deal. Steelix slid back into fighting position and looked at Brock. Come on, let's start this. Hurry. Okay. Use Iron Tail. In an instant, the tail section of the metallic Pokémon glowed brightly. With a lunge, Steelix threw himself around, reining the strike in. A hard flap of his wings pulled Scorch out of the way of the attack, letting it put an indent in the rock floor. So, evolved already too, huh? Kinda surprised myself, Steelix admitted. Woke up feeling funny after I was called out for practice, and Brock freaked out a little. He charged in for a tackle. What about you? Shouldn't you be a Charmander right now? Or not quite this big? Oof. Scorch wasn't able to get out of the way in time, but managed to grab onto Steelix's face to keep from being flung away. He dug his claws in and pushed as hard as he could, the two coming to a stop after several feel. Yeah, not sure either. Woke up at the Cherisific Valley like this. Now, nothing personal. Oh crap. Steelix's eyes widened as he felt his whole body whip around, ass over tea kettle by way of Scorch's seismic toss. The entire gym shuddered a little from the impact of 30 feet of Pokémon slamming down. Okay, I felt that. Brock chuckled a little. This definitely brings back memories, but don't think it's going to go the same, Ash. Steelix, let's kick it into second gear. Something shimmered on what looked to be a lapel pin on his shirt. Something Ash quickly recognized as a keystone. At the same time, Scorch spied a now glowing orb embedded in one of the ridges between Steelix's eyes. When the hell did you get a Mega Stone? He yelled in surprise, quickly taking flight while the transformation took place. Ash stared at the now Mega Steelix, watching him rise back up, and swearing he was giving a cheeky grin. Brock, Mega, when? You and me both, Scorch added. Being a gym leader has its perks. After I found out he'd evolved, I put in a request to the regional gym network for it. The what? Oh, yeah, hey. I don't think we ever mentioned it. Misty chuckled a little sheepishly. The gym network is where gym leaders send in requests to get materials that aren't really available in their area, like badge materials, berries for practice battles, and the occasional item a Pokémon needs for evolving. Wait, we gotta hunt down stuff like that, hoping we find what we're looking for, and you gym leaders can just call it in. Pikachu yelled, sparking indignantly. I called Toro shit, hacks. Scorch stared at Mega Steelix for a moment before looking back at Ash. I want one. He'd pointed at where the Steelixite was. Same. Sky threw up a wing. Did they even come in my size? NUOWTH asked. Let's worry about that later and get back to business. Scorch, give him some ember. Ash called out. Brock was quick to respond. Rock throw, Steelix, flame met stone, and while the quintet of fireballs were enough to destroy a majority of the stony barrage, a good handful managed to survive, hitting Scorch before he could react. Ow, OWCH, son of a that stings. He'd protested, hitting the wall while flailing some to get his balance. Aw man, that's gonna leave a welt. Stupid rock moves. Rock throw again, he felt that. Brock yelled. Duh, rock's freaking hurt, Scorch retorted, seeing his opponent send out another rock flurry. Ah hell no. Counter. Crossing his arms, his body shimmered. The attack collided full on, only to be sent screaming back to a startled Steelix. Boo. Dudden, he's a steel ground type, too. OWCH. Butterfree visibly cringed, watching the Iron Snake Pokémon's head promptly get sandwiched between the returning rocks and his own body. Foreign Fadi Murkrow, popped in a fly, Steelix mumbled, displaying a textbook account of getting the shit knocked out of him. You okay, buddy? Brock hollered, watching his Pokémon shake his head to clear things. Okay, the fuck? He failed his tail in Scorch's direction. Counter. Grandpa was a Nidoran. Scorch smirked. I hate egg moves sometimes. Ash grinned hearing that. All right, Scorch, you got him on the ropes now. Now go for a flamethrower. Use Harden, quick, Brock shouted, watching him gain a metallic sheen from the defensive move just before the ambient heat from the attack made him lean back some. Hot, at the thought, Steelix yelped, trying to make up his mind which way to get out of the fire. Harden may have boosted his defense, even as a Mega, but the type advantage in the fact that Scorch was pretty damn strong meant it wasn't fun at all. Try another Iron Tail, Flare Blitz. While Steelix's tail once again glowed white, Scorch was enveloped in flame. Both Pokémon's attacks collided with a thunderous bang, sending up a cloud of dust and debris that covered most of the arena. A few seconds later, and Scorch came tumbling out into a wobbly heap. Forgot that move has recoil. Scorch, Ash spoke up. I'm good, came the groaning reply as he slowly hoisted himself up. Yeah, I'm gonna be walking funny for a couple days. Steelix, you still up? Enjoy your madam, meal, came the slurred reply, followed by the steel ground type teetering off to the ground, back to normal and out like a light. Steelix is unable to battle. The winner is Ash Ketchum, Forrest called. Yes, Ash yelled, kissing Misty vigorously. And this time, we beat you fair and square. Woo, that's a victory dance all encourage. Misty chuckled, a little wobbly. Yes, I should have figured on that. He hasn't had much practice with the Mega form yet, Brock admitted, apologizing to his Pokémon for the less than stellar matchup as he recalled him. Sorry about that, buddy. And you're right, Ash. You got your first badge the normal way this time. He chuckled as he handed the younger teen the stylized stone medal. Once again holding the first badge he ever got, Ash admired it in the light. And this is only the beginning, Pikachu laughed, hopping onto his trainer's shoulder.